Bishop Fred Sheldon Mwesigwa to come and give us a word of prayer.
If you don't mind, you can stand, please, and we pray. Our dear loving Lord, we give glory and honor to you for such a day as this, where two heads of state are gathered for a project that is for the benefit of our two nations and for this region. We thank you for the host, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, President of the Republic of Uganda. And we also give thanks to you for Her Excellency Suluhu Hassan. We thank you that, Lord, you've been able to bring them together for a cause of the Chikagati Power Station. We thank you so much for those that have been involved in this work from the inception, from the idea, and to the commissioning part that is to be today. We give thanks to you for the residents of this area, for the cooperation. We thank you for the natural features that we have, including River Kagera, which is being used to help us in generating power. May you continue to bless us, may you continue to guide us, and especially as we work together, Uganda, Tanzania, and other East African nations. Bless us, bless all our peoples together as we work for unity and harmony and for economic transformation. We thank you, we praise you, we honor you. We pray for peace and tranquility between our countries and in our region. We pray also for good atmosphere in which we shall conduct this ceremony, and for all the speeches. Let everything work out for the glory of your name. We thank you, we praise you, we honor you. Through Christ our Lord we pray. Amen.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I take this opportunity to thank Allah who has give us this life where we are living. Oh Allah, bless our two presidents, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the one of the Tanzania. Bless them. Bless their work that we are doing in their two countries. Bless the work of bless the work of the two countries which they are doing to get the power and water displeasing of our country, our two countries. Oh Allah, bless the people of the two countries and the people who gathering here. Oh Allah, bless our occasion. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly take your seats. Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you all to the banks of the Kagera River as today we commission the Chikagati Murongo hydropower plant. Your Excellencies, this is a journey that started close to over 10.5 years ago, with bilateral agreements between Uganda and Tanzania being signed, and that being a show of the fact that you cannot walk a long journey alone. And we'd like to thank His Excellency and Her Excellency for the vision of setting up a hydropower plant which today now can generate close to over 14 megawatts of energy. That is enough to power over 60,000 homes. Let's give a big round of applause to that. Your Excellencies, the technology that was invested in this over $100 million project by Berkeley Energy has a guarantee of over 100 years. So we can rest assured that not just our children, but even our children's children will be able to benefit from your visionary leadership. We thank you so much, Your Excellency, but it is not my place to speak about this project, but I'd like to invite the MD of Berkeley Energy, Mr. Luca Bullian, to tell us more about the project, where it has come from and where it's going. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of East African Community Affairs, Your Excellency the Ambassadors, the Honorable Ministers from the Republic of Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania, the Permanent Secretaries from the Republic of Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania, the leadership from the Isingiro District and the Republic of Uganda, the leadership from the Murongo District in the Republic of Tanzania, religious leaders and cultural leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to stand before you at the inauguration of the Chikagati Murongo hydropower project, a cross-border project developed by the African Renewable Energy Fund and PACSPA through the Chikagati Power Company Limited as a special project company. I will tell you that about 20 years ago, when I started in the field of power project development in Africa, they told me there are two things you have to stay away from. One is hydro projects, and the other one is cross-border projects. I'm really happy that we've proven all of that wrong, and I'm really happy that we've achieved what we have achieved. I will first give you a little bit of an overview about the sponsors and the projects, and cover a few other points. So first, about the African Renewable Energy Fund and Berkeley Energy as the manager of that fund. Your Excellencies, RF, as we call it, the fund, owns 90% of the Chikagati Power Company Limited, which is also the developer of this project. RF, the fund, was set up to invest in hydro, geothermal, solar and biomass projects in sub-Saharan Africa. The fund is managed by Berkeley Energy with offices in Nairobi and Kampala. RF is backed by notable financial institutions, including the African Development Bank, the Sustainable Energy Fund for Africa, CEFA, the European Investment Bank, the International Finance Corporation, the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, the West African Development Bank, the British International Investment, which is formerly the CDC, the Dutch Development Bank, and also a number of others. About $400 million has been invested in RF's projects in Uganda and in this case also in Tanzania, but $400 million. Apart from the Bujagali Consortium, which is the biggest private hydro in operation in Africa and also the biggest one in Uganda, this makes AREF the largest private investor in the power generation in Uganda. Our projects include Achua 1 and Achua 2 with combined capacity of 83 megawatts in Gulu-Padre districts in northern Uganda. Bugoye, which is our 13 megawatt hydro in the Kasese district in the Rwenzoris. And here we are at Kikigati Murongo, so 16 megawatts on the Kagera River. Elsewhere in Africa, we have been developing and investing in other renewable energy projects. So I'll just give you a brief overview, but we have a 150 megawatt geothermal project in Ethiopia. We are very active in hydro in Angola, Cameroon, Madagascar, and Zambia, about 400 megawatts of hydro that we're working on in those countries. Large battery storage projects, so standalone battery storage projects in Malawi and Kenya, about 180 megawatts. And also we develop and deliver energy solutions for large corporate customers. So all kinds of renewable energy solutions, solar, heat, batteries, energy efficiency, and such. To give you a summary, therefore, Barclay Energy is a developer focused on delivering renewable energy solutions in Africa. We are particularly proud of our track record with hydro projects, in which we are the market leader on the continent. We are proud to have had the opportunity to collaborate with a broad range of Ugandan, Tanzanian, and international stakeholders on this project. Let me focus on the project, therefore, a little bit. Kigati Murongo was designed as a 16 megawatt hydro project at a site on the Kagera River, which forms a border between Uganda and Tanzania. Work on this project started in 2005, but it did not steadily progress until 2017, when the bilateral agreement was finalized between the two countries. We have gotten involved in the project, with the project in 2016. The project is expected to produce approximately 130 gigawatt hours per year. So some of the technical people here will know what that means very well, but and someone already said it's enough energy to power tens of thousands of homes. But there is a broader systemic importance that this project has. At over 90% plant load factor, this will be perhaps the project with the highest utilization factor of any in Uganda. This is due to the exceptional nature of this hydro resource, and it will make this project very important to supply stable power into the power grids in southwest Uganda and northwest Tanzania. Being a cross-border project, it fits well with the East African Community Vision 2050 and Article 101 of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community, under which the partner states agreed, among others, to cooperate in the exploitation of renewable energy resources to supply affordable energy to their people. Accordingly, the project has received support from the EAC, especially during the negotiation of the bilateral agreement and other project implementation documents. And I would really like to underline this. It was very important and worthwhile support. The amount invested in this project is approximately $100 million. This is due to the very sizable project infrastructure which you have been able to see on this mighty river, but also due to interconnection with both Uganda and Tanzania, which we have implemented. And also, unfortunately, we have suffered quite significant delays and challenges during the COVID pandemic. It really has not been easy. However, we've managed to get there, and we need to recognize project lenders who have supported us, which is FMO, the Dutch Development Bank, and the Emerging Africa Infrastructure Fund. We very much recognize and appreciate their ongoing support for the project. I would like to stress that this is a build, own, operate and transfer project, a BOT. So after the expiry of this project, PPA, so it's a 20-year PPA, power purchase agreement. So after the expiry of the 20-year power purchase agreement, the project shall be owned equally by the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republic of Uganda. And someone has mentioned that this kind of a project can run for 100 years, and indeed we have quite a few examples in the world of hydro projects that are 100 years old or more and running very well, and that's what we expect to see here as well. So a few words on the power sharing between the two countries. It was envisioned in the bilateral agreement that the power generated by the project will be equally shared between the two countries. Under the power sharing agreement, the two countries agreed also that Tanzania would take just 2.5 megawatts in the first three years from the commissioning date to fulfill what was expected as the lower energy demand on the northwest part of the Tanzanian grid. We very much appreciate the visionary leadership of Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and the efforts by TANESCO for the increased power consumption that we are now witnessing in Tanzania, which has seen the demand by Tanzania in this region increase to 4.5 megawatts since August 2022, within the first year of commissioning. So it's almost double what was initially forecast. On the Ugandan side, we appreciate the visionary leadership of Your Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, which has provided extended stability in Uganda, which has in turn enabled increased connections in the Mbarara area. We understand from Umeme that the increased power supply from Chikagati has stabilized and improved the quality of power supply in Mbarara and the neighboring areas. Your Excellencies, the project was initially designed as a 16 megawatt hydropower project. However, during the permitting stage, both the government of Tanzania and Uganda were concerned about the demand for the entire 16 megawatts. Accordingly, the generation license was issued for only 14 megawatts. The PPA recognizes it as a project of 14 megawatts contracted capacity with a nameplate capacity of 16 megawatts. This means that the project can generate 16 megawatts, and it would be to the benefit of both countries to increase the power uptake to serve the ever-increasing demand. We expect that the full 16 megawatt capacity would be absorbed by the electricity demand in the region as early as 2024. Your Excellencies, in December 2022, Kikagati made an application to modify the generation license to the Electricity Regulatory Authority in consultation with EWURA to recognize the installed capacity of 16 megawatts from the current 14. We understand that Electricity Regulatory Authority is reviewing our proposal. Your Excellencies, your intervention in expediting the process will be highly appreciated. I'll spend a few words on other projects that we are looking at in Uganda and the region. Your Excellencies, leveraging on the success of these projects, we are interested to implement other projects that would benefit Uganda, Tanzania, and the broader region. Your Excellencies, we have conducted the feasibility study for the Nsongezi hydro project, 38 megawatts, which is another cross-border project on the Kagera River, located 10 kilometers downstream from this site. We would like to be permitted to develop this project under a similar framework as Kikagati Murongo. This would bring the total installed capacity on the Kagera River to over 50 megawatts. Given the very high plant load factor of these projects, this would further strengthen energy supply to these regions of Uganda and Tanzania. Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we have conducted feasibility studies for Achua 3, which is a 10 megawatt project, and Achua 4, an 8 megawatt project, both hydro projects on the Achua River in the north. We would like to be permitted to develop these projects, leveraging our experience and successful construction and commissioning of Achua 1 and Achua 2 on the Achua River. This would bring the total installed capacity of the ACHWA projects to 100 megawatts. Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we also have a keen interest in developing Mubuku 1, which is a mini hydro located within the Kilembe mines in Kasese. This project is along the same river and near another one of our hydro projects, Bugoye, which is also referred to as Mubuku 2. The project, Mubuku 1, currently has the capacity of 4 megawatts, but we believe, if given the opportunity, we can generate more than 10 megawatts from that site, which would be a welcome addition to power generation in that part. Given the strong economic growth that is being experienced in Uganda and Tanzania, we believe that now is the time to start working on these projects as energy demand is rising fast. I will speak also a little bit about the challenges that we have experienced, particularly with the project here at Chikigati-Morongo. I will start with double taxation. Your Excellencies, currently, both countries expect to tax the project at 30% corporate income tax, which potentially puts the effective tax rate for the project at 60%. That is unfortunately not sustainable. The project has continuously engaged both countries since 2017, and then in 2018, 2020, 2021, and most recently in May 2022, with the aim of agreeing on a structure that aligns with the spirit of the bilateral agreement, that is an equal sharing of the resource. In the most recent engagements with the project steering committee, formed to resolve the tax modalities, KPCL, the project company, proposed a 50-50 tax allocation between the two countries. However, this structure has not been implemented to date. Your Excellencies, as is the case for other cross-border projects, such as the East African crude oil pipeline project, this project will require a change in tax law in either country to recognize the proposed tax structure. We therefore request the finance ministries from both countries to assist in fast-tracking this process. The position is now critical, as the project has achieved commercial operation without clarity on its tax structure. I would like to touch on cross-border movement of the operational team. With this being a cross-border project, the operations team frequently moves across the border. KPCL has, however, experienced challenges with the movement of personnel, with the Tanzania authorities requiring work permits while crossing the Chikigati-Morongo border. And by this we mean also working here at the project site in the Weir. The project has complied to date with this requirement, but this is not sustainable. The Tanzania government is immensely benefiting from the energy evacuated from the project, and we therefore request Her Excellency to waive this requirement for work permits for Chikigati staff moving across the border. And I'll also just restate the license application that we've mentioned. So Chikigati has made an application for amendment of the generation license in December 2022, requesting the regulator ERA to recognize the installed capacity of 16 megawatts from the current 14. We understand that ERA is reviewing our proposal, but the request is that this is fast-tracked. Your Excellencies, we would also like to extend our special thanks to the Ministries of Energy in both Uganda and Tanzania, to ERA and to Ewura, who have worked closely with the project over the years, and also very much to UTCL and to TANESCO as the off-takers for this project. I want to extend our thanks to all our contractors, in particular our colleagues from PAC, who have been a key EPC contractor for this project, and are also our equity partners in this project. They're represented here, and I have to commend them for their work and being a key success factor for this plant. Also, very, very special thanks to the Chikagati project team and the entire Berkeley Energy Uganda team who have worked tirelessly on this project. Lastly, the project would have been more difficult and probably more costly to implement without the support of our able legal counsel, Abmac Associates, led by senior partner Aisha Naiga Wamala. I would request the Abmac team to stand up so that we can recognize them. And Your Excellencies, we thank you very much for your relentless support for this project and for taking time to come here and inaugurate this facility. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Managing Director, Berkeley Energy, Luca Bullian. Your Excellencies, he spoke a lot about the impact of the project, and something that he also touched on was how much it has affected and impacted the lives of the people on both sides of the border. Your Excellencies, not only have we managed to change lives of different individuals and touch them in terms of setting up different schools, water provision solutions, set up pit latrines, midwifery classes, all sorts of different corporate social responsibility. But in the midst of all this, we would not have been able to do it alone. You need to do it with partners. So it's my great pleasure, Your Excellencies, to welcome the Director, PACSPA, Giulio Parolini, to tell us more about the partnership. Big round of applause as he comes.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, all protocol observed, I'm Giulio Parolini, the Director of PAC SPA, and I'm honored to be here in front of you. PAC SPA is a company that is 10% shareholder of the Chikagati Power Company Limited, the developer of this project. PAC was also the PC contractor for this project. We started the construction in July 2018 and we commissioned the project in February 2022. PAC is also a shareholder in Achua project in Gulu and Padar district. And in all these projects, we had the support of the Italian DFI's export credit agency like SACE and CIMEST. PACSPA is a construction company owned by my family that started the business in the 60s in Italy. We are focused in the construction of infrastructure, like road and tunnels, and we are specialized in hydropower plants. From almost 15 years, we are active in Uganda to develop and construct medium-sized hydroelectric plant. Your Excellencies, I will address you on the impact of Kikagati Murongo project in the local community and how this has improved surrounding local community in Uganda and Tanzania. Your Excellencies, the project acquired land from the local community. Actually 53 Ugandans and 64 Tanzanians. All affected people were compensated and the resettlement action plan was fully implemented as per the EFC standard. There has been no grievance as related to the compensation. Your Excellencies, the project has access to employment opportunities to nationals. Over 370 employees from broke countries were employed by this project during the construction phase. And now, during operation, we are employing around 40 employees from both countries. The project has further supported in community development initiative as part of our corporate social responsibility, focusing on 4 thematic areas of healthcare, education, environment conservation, and capacity building for both Uganda and Tanzania. About healthcare, we constructed staff quarter for midwives at Chikagati Health Center. We donated a ventilator to Mbarara Regional Hospital during the COVID outbreak. We donated medical equipment to Murongo Health Center in Tanzania, and we installed the supply water system at Murongo Health Center. About education, we constructed classroom at Murongo Primary School, sanitary facility at primary school in Chikagati Town Council, and we sponsored dropout youth to attain life skill training. Your Excellency, we have participated in tree planting with local communities, and we also partnered with all relevant government agencies in both Uganda and Tanzania to monitor environmental compliance by our projects. The project contributed to promotion of local enterprise in Izingiro, in Izingiro district and Kiwera district in Uganda and Tanzania. We can say that up to 75% of goods and service used during the construction of this project were procured from local suppliers. Your Excellency, the project also partnered with 2 existing saving and credit cooperative organizations operating within these 2 districts. We provided sustainable financial service to the people affected, to the project affected people, and also to the wider community to restore their livelihood by leveling the level of income. 370 people were the beneficiaries of these projects. Your Excellencies, as I conclude my speech, I would like to thank the local community of Murongo in Tanzania and Izingiro in Uganda for their continuous support of the project. I have to say that they are the ones that constructed this plant that we are inaugurating today. They have worked with seriousness and dedication also during COVID period, which was one of the most difficult periods we have seen in our life. We must thank the tireless workers who have spent the 5 years here with us. A special thank goes also to the local government institution in Uganda and Tanzania. This includes the Immigration Office of Uganda and Tanzania and district leadership of Izingiro and Kiwera in Tanzania. Lastly, we'd like to thank you, Excellency, for providing security and stability within the region, which has enabled us to move with our private investment in this region. And we thank you for taking your time to come here and inaugurate our project. Good afternoon all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Director PACSPA, Giulio Parolini. Round of applause. Grazie. Your Excellency, there are so many partners who have stood together with the different stakeholders, and it's my great pleasure now to welcome the head of the German corporation representing different development partners. Please welcome Ms. Iris Nabu.
Good afternoon. Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan of the Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Ministers, Honorable PSs and other members of the governments of Uganda and Tanzania, your distinguished guests, all protocol observed. This project is part of the Get Fit program, What does Get Fit mean? Get Fit is the abbreviation for Global Energy Transfer for Feed-in Tariff. And this has been a hallmark project in Uganda's electricity supply sector. The European partners, the EU, Norway, UK, and Germany donated 100 euros for this project. This is a result-based funding for this. And this is an unique in character by uniting all these partners from European countries to increase the energy supply of Uganda in a climate-friendly manner. The program hasn't been a walkover all along. It had to overcome many challenges and obstacles throughout the years, some which are owed to formalities and contractual issues, as this is a very complex program, some due to requested compliance with environmental standards, design challenges due to the geography of the site, natural disasters like flooding, and even a pandemic. $150 million in public and private investments for renewable energy generation projects. This program has been a success, demonstrated by being used as benchmark from other countries which implement similar programs using Get Fit principles to secure their energy supply. Chikagati is one of 14 hydropower plants, but unique as it is the biggest hydropower plant within this program, with 16 megawatt installed capacity in the portfolio, plus it's the only trans-border project. The Get Fit Investment Committee approved the Chikagati small hydropower project already in July 2013. It was therefore one of the first projects to be integrated in the Get Fit universe. Following 50 months of construction, all 3 generating units were eventually ready for synchronizing to the grid by December 2021, resulting in Chikagati being the final Get Fit supported project to achieve commercial operation. This demonstrates that the project had to overcome various challenges owed to its geographical location, but also, for example, due to changes in designs and by delays due to COVID. From an environmental perspective, Chikagati has been, for Get Fit as well as presumably for the developer, one of the most challenging projects, with much effort spent on the consideration of fish migration to develop an environmentally sustainable project. During all those years, the project requested from the Get Fit program and era significant endurance, but also, and in particular, from the developer, as investment costs have spiraled. Chikagati is the project that requested by far the most effort in preparation, but also in implementation. The project is in operation now, which is a major achievement considering the significant challenges and efforts. However, despite the success, Chikagati has still not reached the end of the road, as improvements are needed in evacuation infrastructure to enable smooth and efficient operation and utilization of the energy produced. But we do hope that with a continued joint effort, the remaining challenges can also be resolved. So let's join hands and engage actively in the same way that we have done this during the last challenging years. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Iris Nabe, head of the German corporation representing development partners. Your Excellencies, it's now my great honor to welcome to the podium the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development from Uganda, Honorable Ruth Nankabirwa, to give us her remarks. Round of applause as she makes her way.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the the People's Republic of Tanzania, who is our visiting President, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, our own President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, my honorable colleagues, ministers from Uganda and Tanzania, my honorable colleagues from Parliament, the members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors, the permanent secretaries, the district leadership from Isingiro, and our leadership from our neighbors, our brothers and sisters from Murongo, the executive officers of various government agencies, the project developer of Chikagate Power Company Limited, representatives of engineering, procurement, and construction contractors, and all of you distinguished guests, our religious leaders, I take this opportunity to welcome you to this very historical occasion. Join me to welcome their excellencies from commissioning Chikagate Power Plant, which they did this morning. The commissioning is already done, but we are here to yet witness another commissioning, which I will talk briefly about later, as I will be inviting the minister in charge of ICT, who is going to handle that yet historical occasion today. Your Excellency, you championed the making of the Constitution of Uganda, where you devolved powers to the people. I am standing here to recognize that power you gave us. We are in Isingiro, and we have Isingiro leadership here. Allow me, Your Excellency, to use part of my time to invite the LC5 chairperson of Isingiro district to come and introduce the team that has come to welcome both of you, Your Excellencies. Chair, please come and welcome their excellencies. You are receiving 2 heads of state in your district. You're lucky. Yes.
Thank you very much. I think my team from Isingiro, you can join me clap for this wonderful honorable minister for remembering us. Your Excellencies, the President of Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, our one and only beloved President, none other than General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, all ministers present, and other members as the minister have introduced you. Allow me to take this opportunity, introduce myself to you. I'm by names of Torahi Aaron II, Chairman LC5 Isingiro District, and Your Excellency, the people of Isingiro call me Governor. So, Your Excellency, allow me to take this now opportunity to introduce you my leadership. Thank you for giving us decentralization, and decentralization is working well. That's why the minister is able to recognize that the district is present. I want to take this opportunity to request my members of parliament first to stand up for recognition, Your Excellency. We have our very and beloved Honorable Minister, Bright Ruamirama, who is leading us very well. You can clap for Minister because the development in Isingiro, that Minister have a hand. Allow me now take this opportunity, introduce our also beloved RDC, the Resident District Commissioner. Thank you for sending us such wonderful lady who is a very hard-working person in the district, Your Excellency. Allow me also introduce you my technical team headed by Chief Administrative Officer, who is Asimwe Arsel, and the heads of department. All heads of department, you can stand up for recognition so that Your Excellencies can be able, can see you. Allow me to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to also invite the District Executive Committee. The District Executive Committee, you can stand up for recognition. As you are aware, Your Excellency, that you are promoting gender by selecting the Prime Minister and even appointing the Vice President as a lady. I also copied you and did the same. Those are the people that are driving with me the district. You can sit down. Also, the district councillors present, you can stand up for recognition. The district councillors present. You can help me clap for those people because they are leaders, and if you don't clap for them, they think that you have not seen them. Allow me also introduce the chairman LC3 of this area and his leadership, his worship the mayor. You can also stand up for recognition. Your Excellency, we have religious leaders with us here. I request all the religious leaders to stand up for recognition. I don't want to mention their names, but there are very many. Your Excellency, we have the Nkazurwana, the Fornasa members. They are also here, who were in struggle with you before 1986. They are also here, headed by none other than Afande Tofa Agava, one of the 27 people. He's also here with us. Your Excellency, we have other people that come from Isingiro district. We have the elders and the presidential advisor. You can also stand up for recognition. I want to thank you, Excellency, for giving us chance of seeing Isingiro as your choice and giving all those people good positions. I want to request Honorable Minister, in Ebanyankore we had a say that whenever you meet a king, you must give your requests. So, Your Excellency, since you are here, and I want to make my requests brief. One of them, Your Excellency, Isingiro district, it is one of the biggest districts in Uganda, and we request if you can give us another set of road equipment so that it can work on our roads, because we have so many roads around, and if you can just look around, you know, you have a lot of powers. Here we call you Jesus. So use those powers you have, and you instruct either Minister of Works or you instruct anybody to give us that road equipment, and that road equipment will help us, because what we have, we received it in 2018, and it is very, very, very old. The second one, Your Excellency, you know, we want upgrading of Kabingo, Ntanta Mucharakai, and Chikagate Kafunjo road, making 150 kilometers, and you know, Isingiro district is a productive district. We are farmers, so those roads, if you make them tarmac, we can give you now this time 100%, not 94%, the way how we voted you last time. Yes, you can clap hand for that, because I know our Mzee, as Vazkur, if we give you our request, he cannot fail to fulfill our requests. The second, I want also to request a national park, industrial park. We want an industrial park. I want to thank you very much for giving us 3 square miles. But if you go ahead and lob for us, we get an investor, it will also help the district as well in as far as the production and the job creation is concerned. Lastly, as Isingiro district, we don't have a district hospital, Your Excellency, and you know, Isingiro district, we host so many refugees. Almost 16 countries are here, and I want to thank you very much for giving us that chance and peace, because the refugees are staying with us. There is nobody who is complaining, but under your guidance. So, Your Excellency, if you can give us a district hospital to help these people to get to access health services, it can help your district as well. Finally, I want to thank you, Your Excellency, Mama Samia, for coming to Isingiro Feel at Home. We have been staying with your people. Me, I stay with them daily, and we don't have any complaint about it, because if we get some issues, we resolve those issues as brothers and sisters. There is no difference between here and there. So, Your Excellency, I wish you a nice stay in Isingiro, and you enjoy honey and milk. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Mama.
Will you come here to ask for votes? You didn't introduce Chairman LOC1 of Chikagate. Are you here? Thank you for welcoming us. Just wave to the President. Chairman, please forgive me, but we recognize you. Your Excellency, I came with my Minister of State for Energy, Honorable Sidronius Okasai Opolot. He helps me a lot. He's accompanied by the Permanent Secretary, your daughter, Engineer Vatebe, and also Joan. Joan is a member of the board of the Electricity Regulatory Authority. He has heard the request. Joan Rabiomere, she has heard the request to increase the generation capacity up to 16 megawatts. And we are working on it. We have to make sure that we are prepared for off-taking so that we don't destabilize the system. Your 2 ambassadors are here, Your Excellency. The one you donated to Tanzania and the one that Mama Sihulu donated to Uganda. We enjoy them. But my brother, Honorable Makamba January, with whom we've been working, and I want to thank him very well, is also here. You are most welcome. I am not going to go further with the introductions, but just to say that we appreciate Your Excellency's guidance that you've been giving us regarding power generation, regarding power transmission, distribution, regarding supply of power. I also want to express gratitude to Her Excellency for the continued guidance. I remember when His Excellency visited Tanzania, the issue of Chikagate came out, and you sanctioned us, and we promised that we were going to move ahead. And the challenges that they were there regarding the sharing of the power, how much is Tanzania taking, despite the fact that everything was in the agreements that they've been enumerated by the speakers, we still had that challenge. But your guidance helped us. And that's why we are here, and that's why you've been able to commission this power plant. Thank you so much for that guidance. Your Excellency, we've continued to prepare the country. This plant you've commissioned is just 14 megawatts, but it is very critical. But you have a bigger plants, Karuma of 600 megawatts. And I want to use this opportunity to say that we have started slowly to commission unit by unit of Karuma hydropower plant, 600 megawatts. There are 6 units. Each one supposed to generate 100 megawatts. So far, 2 units, unit 1 and 4, have been synchronized. And we are moving ahead to make sure that we slowly synchronize so that we don't want to destabilize the stability of the grid. We have plans for bigger hydropower plants, 840 megawatts, Ayago, 400, Aryong, 390-something megawatts from Kiba. We have to continue with those plans because you've seen how long it takes to plan from an intergovernmental agreement to power purchase agreements to power sharing and sales agreement. To all that takes time. A plant like this has taken like 6 to 8 years. So we have to plan early because we know that it takes quite a long time to generate power. We also have plans to continue with our Nshonjezi hydropower plant, which is expected to generate 39 megawatts. I've been informed that the MOU between the 3 countries, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda, has been done, the MOU, and this is being fast-tracked under the East African community. Your Excellency, it is important to note that we are working on producing affordable power. The power you have commissioned from here will be sold at 8.5 US cents per kilowatt hour. We've come from a long way, and hydropower is supposed to be cheap. So we shall work towards reducing the units. But this requires investing government money in generation, in transmission. The more you borrow money expensively, the more you will see expensive power. So governments have to plan to put power in energy infrastructure if we are to see real affordable power and reliable power supplied to our people. Chikagati power will be sold at 8.5 US cents per kilowatt hour. But we have solar. Somebody mentioned about our energy mix which has solar. Solar is still expensive, but you instructed us, Your Excellency, not to accept a tariff which goes beyond 6 US cents per kilowatt hour of solar. So we've been guiding our developers who have been coming here to request. Your Excellency, allow me to thank the developer. We've been told that the commitment that they made to construct health centers, maternity centers, the schools, the water tanks, 10,000 liter 2 water tanks to Morongo Health Center have been done. I must say that I have not visited, but I want to believe that they are done. But let me use this opportunity to request my colleagues, the local leaders, the RDCs, LC5 chairperson, and the MPs to visit these facilities and cross-check. Visit them and cross-check. And I also want to call upon you, the local people, to guard against vandalism of these infrastructures that have been constructed. We are here to commission, the two presidents are here, you are seeing police, security, we are going back. We are leaving these infrastructures in your hands. Please guard against vandalism, because this will again make us not progress very well. So visit them and encourage everybody to be concerned about their safety and security. I know we don't have much time. I just want to end here by sincerely thanking everybody and apologize to the leadership of Isingiro. We limited the number so much, Your Excellencies, people wanted to gather here and welcome you. But it is us, the organizers, who limited the numbers. So I want to apologize on behalf of the organizers. Now, the second function I talked about, which is very historical as a hydropower, which is cementing the relationship between the two countries, and it's going to be a message sent across to all African presidents that Uganda and Tanzania and East Africa are very committed to working together, and that Pan-Africanism is supposed to be championed. So now the other project which I would like to invite Honorable Chris Variomos, the Minister of ICT, to be the one to talk about is again a directive from you, Your Excellencies, and hakuna mchezo, we are implementing. Honorable Variomos, please come forward and tell us about another infrastructure which we are going to see being commissioned, at least its development will begin after the blessing of the two presidents. This is regarding the fiber infrastructure, Your Excellencies. Honorable Variomos, please come forward. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you, Your Excellencies, for honoring this very important function. May God bless you all, for God and my country. I beg your pardon. Since after Honorable Variomos, their Excellencies will be coming here to place a baton, I beg that I invite my colleague, the Minister of Energy from Tanzania, Honorable January Mkamba, to come and greet us, so that when Honorable Variomos does his function, their Excellencies will not go back to sit and then listen to another speech. Honorable January, please come and do your speech first, and then Honorable Variomos will give his speech.
Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, my sister Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, Minister of Energy and Mineral Development of the Republic of Uganda, my colleague ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to stand here before my two leaders and this distinguished audience on this auspicious occasion. A lot has been said about the project and why we're here, so I will not belabor to repeat. But I have three items. One is gratitude, another is congratulations, and the last one is a promise. So we are grateful for Your Excellencies. We are grateful for your leadership, for your visionary leadership. We enjoy peace, tranquility, harmony within our countries and between our countries because of your stewardship of affairs within our countries, but also your stewardship of our relationship. We are grateful for that leadership, and you provide example beyond East Africa. And we pray for your good health, continued wisdom, and long life. We're here today precisely because of that leadership that you have provided in ensuring that this project is completed successfully. So I want to thank you again and congratulations on this day. This is a result of your guidance and your leadership. Your Excellencies, our country has a number of energy projects that are either being implemented or under preparations. We have the big one, East African Crude Oil Pipeline. We have Tanzania is purchasing power from Uganda. We have Masaka, Mwanza transmission line that is being thought about. There is Nsongezi hydro that we are also talking about. We have a gas pipeline from Tanzania to Uganda that we are discussing. We have this project as well that has brought us here today. So you can see we have a number of energy projects that we are planning, we want to do, and we are already doing. And hence come my promise, and on behalf of my sister, that for as long as we occupy these positions that you have entrusted us with, we will push these projects to completion and realize their objectives. We know that they are important to you, and they're important to our countries, and they're important to our people. And I know that, and I appreciate, and we are grateful that you have entrusted us with this critical portfolio, which touches and impacts the lives of our people, development of our nations, and prosperity of our people, and we don't take these tasks lightly. Your Excellencies, there are a number of matters that have been raised today by the project developers. We have been working on them for quite some time now. On taxation issue, there is a joint task force between Uganda Revenue Authority and Tanzania Revenue Authority. Our joint permanent commission directed these authorities to deal with the matter, and we want to promise you that we'll get to the bottom of it so that it's not a challenge to this project, but also in keeping with our common interest as East Africans, but also within our relevant laws, applicable laws of our two countries. On the EWURA permit that was mentioned, that is a very small matter, and we can deal with it even next week. Your Excellency, there is issue of work permits and residence permits. We are in discussion to see how we can effect. As a local, the gentleman who's a leader from here mentioned we are one people, and we know that we are one people. We occupy same hills. So the movement of people in spirit of your leadership under the East African community, it should not be a problem. We will continue to work on it, balancing between the right balance of staffing in the project so that the skewed nature of what exists now is dealt with. This is within our ability to solve it, and we promise you that we will solve it. So I want to end here. by, again, reiterating that Dr. Ruth and I are very lucky to be led by leaders who appreciates, recognizes, and understands the importance of power and energy in the development of our nations. My job as Minister for Energy and Ruth's job is very easy when you have leaders who are in themselves insisting on investing, public investment on power. So we want to thank you for making our job easier. The public investments, apart from the private investment power, that are happening in countries demonstrate your commitment to put power and energy at the center of our development. So we want to thank you for that, and with that, I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Another round of applause to my brother, January Mukamba. I would like to introduce our senior veteran in the Ministry of Energy, who is your presidential advisor, Kabagambe Kalisa, all the way from Hoima. He's here with us. I think he was the permanent secretary then when negotiations for Chikagate started. You are most welcome, Omgurusi Omunyoro Kabagambe Kalisa. Thank you very much. Honorable Riomus, please tell us, and then I will later invite our presidents to talk to us. Quickly, please.
Your Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the Republic of Tanzania, the honorable ministers present, both from Uganda and Tanzania, the members of parliament, permit me in the interest of time to stand on the protocols already observed. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, my name is Chris Baryomonsi. I am the Minister in charge of ICT and National Guidance in the Republic of Uganda, and permit me for the next few minutes to switch you from energy to the digital world. Your Excellencies, Your Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, you gave us a directive as a Minister of ICT in March, a few days ago, instructing us that our technical people through the National IT Authority of Uganda, NITAU, should get in touch with the Tanzania Telecommunications Company Limited, TTCL, to work on an intervention to connect the national backbone infrastructure, the internet fiber, both for the Ugandan side and Tanzanian side, so that we have an integrated infrastructure. And I'm here to give a brief on how far we have gone, and also request you to power that digital infrastructure. Your Excellencies, I stand here and I'm pleased to present this brief on the journey we have so far taken in trying to enhance connectivity, promote economic growth, and foster regional cooperation between our two countries by connecting the digital infrastructure. Uganda and Tanzania share a common border, and we have a long history of friendly relations. And both countries recognize the importance of affordable, reliable, and high-speed internet connectivity in driving socio-economic development and fostering innovation. Your Excellencies and distinguished members present, Uganda has for a long time been relying on a single route to the undersea internet providers. We get our internet through a cable through the Indian Ocean, and we have been using the route through Kenya to Uganda. And therefore, this initiative through Tanzania presents a reliable alternative route that will see significant drop in internet prices, but also provide the much needed business continuity in the event of unforeseen disruption through our eastern route to Mombasa. Your Excellency, following your directive, we have since through NITAU had engagements with our counterparts in Tanzania, particularly the NITAU team, which is here with me, has had engagements with the Tanzania Telecommunications Company Limited and agreed on a memorandum of understanding to be signed by both countries in a bid to ensure affordability and reliability. This memorandum of understanding is being considered by the Attorney General of Uganda side as well as the Attorney General on the Tanzanian side, and in a few days to come, the MOU shall be ready for signing. Through the engagements, Your Excellencies, NITAU and TTCL have also initiated discussions on the additional fiber route alongside the oil pipeline, the East African oil pipeline, from Tanga to Tilenga and Kingfisher oil fields. And this will be under the leadership of ECOP and the respective authorities of Uganda and Tanzania. Your Excellencies, today we are here to launch the beginning of the long-term partnership that will complement the existing bilateral projects that will be a win-win for each of our economies, especially our youthful population. And we shall be able to see the promotion of internet-based services like e-governance, business process outsourcing, BPO, e-commerce, e-education, research, financial inclusion, etc., etc. Your Excellency, on our part, this also will help us to boost the revamp of UTL, our national telecom company. Your Excellency, since that instruction, our technical teams from Tanzania and Uganda have since done the physical connectivity. The two fibers from the Ugandan side and Tanzania side have physically been already connected at the Mutukula border point, and this will allow cross-border exchange of data, Your Excellencies. We are working with our counterparts in Tanzania. I am in touch with the Honorable Nape, the Minister for ICT, Tanzanian side, and working on very many interventions. For instance, we are working on the one network area where we want in the telecom sector that when you are calling from Uganda or Tanzania, the calls should be seamless. For instance, in the budget which we are about to read to the country, we have removed excise duty on the incoming calls from Tanzania. We are also working to address the issue of network overlaps so that we remove the roaming charges, so that if you are in Dar es Salaam or Dodoma or any part of Tanzania and you are calling Uganda, it should be the same as if you are calling within Tanzania, and the same if you are calling from Uganda, Tanzania, it should be seamless, it should be the same, and there should be no additional costs which you incur. So we are working on that, Your Excellencies, so that telecommunication can be seamless and we make it easy for our citizens both in Uganda and Tanzania. So we want to thank you, Your Excellencies, and as ministers of ICT, we request that we continue to prioritize ICT and digital transformation because the world is going digital, and for us to achieve progress in many areas, we need to address the issue of digital transformation and integration of ICT in all these areas. Your Excellencies, we had arranged that you move and power up the digital board here, but in the interest of time, we are being advised that we could do it and then you follow from the digital screens which we have provided that will show you the route, the digital infrastructure connection from Dar es Salaam to Mutukula and Kampala to Mutukula, what this one means once we connect these routes of the digital infrastructure. So we beg that you remain in your seats and then we shall power up the digital map and then you are able to follow on the screen what we are talking about. So thank you very much. May God bless all of you.
Honorable Chris Bariomusi has been powered to power. Okay. As we watch on the screen, some of us,
so that is the Your Excellencies, my name is Colin Babirukamu from NITA. That was the map. We're just playing it again, the East African map, and you can see the journey that TTCL has made tremendously, going fiber all the way from Dar es Salaam, Dodoma, Mwanza, all the way from Mutukula, and our side, the short bit from Kampala to Mutukula. And that's the connection we have now. It is physically connected, and as we complete the MOU, we will have the actual internet beginning to flow. So thank you, Your Excellencies. We also plan to have a cable by TTCL, which will be running under Lake Victoria to actually run a shorter route to Port Bell or Bokassa in the Ugandan side to shorten the distance. TTCL has committed to phasing that and running an under Lake Victoria cable, which will also supply our islands and underserved communities in Lake Victoria. Thank you again, Your Excellencies.
come and address us. Thereafter, you will introduce your guest to us. And I think that will be the end of our function. We shall end with the anthems. You are most welcome, Your Excellency. Please welcome His Excellency, the President.
Your Excellency, hello. Mnanisikia huko? Your Excellency Samia Hassan Suluhu, some people can't pronounce it properly. The honorable ministers who are here, the company people, Barclay Energy, the development partners, Germany Group and all those, and the wananchi of Isingiro and in Uganda and Cherwa in Tanzania. Watu wa Cherwa wamekuja? Nani amekuja hapo? Msimame tuwaone. Karibu karibu. Numanyuru nyambo. Numurugamba. Nkare kare. Cherwa is, of course, yes, this is Singiro. So I want to take this opportunity to invite Her Excellency Samia and thank her for coming all the way from Dodoma to Mwanza to here to be with us. It's a big honor. I don't think we have seen the President of Tanzania here. I don't think so. I think President Mkapa came secretary and opened a bridge here without telling me, I didn't know about it. But this is the first time that a President of Tanzania even Mwalimu, who was from this area, didn't get a chance to come here. After we were planning to come here together, but she got sick and didn't come. So we are very lucky to have Your Excellency here in this part of the world. I will say some other things, but I invite Your Excellency to give us advice on
I thank you, my brother, Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and my dear brother, ministers from governments of Republic of Uganda and United Republic of Tanzania, other government officials, dignitaries from the private sector, development partners, ambassadors, high commissioners, members of diplomatic corps, dear developers, consultancies and contractors, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Kwa Watanzania, Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Asante. Your Excellency Museveni, and our gracious host today, it is an honor and pleasure to be here again in this beautiful country, and particularly here in Chikagati. Myself and on behalf of my delegation, wish to express our sincere appreciation for the invitation and of course warm reception extended to us today. Asanteni sana. Your Excellency, I'm privileged to join you today on the inauguration ceremony of the Chikagati Morongo Hydropower project, because you could have done it alone with your people, but you know I have to be here. And you called me, I think, last month to give me this date, and so I made sure I won't lose the privilege. Frankly speaking, I applaud your vision in originating this project and seeing to it that it is accomplished. Congratulations and thank you so much. I would also like to thank and congratulate the contractors, developers, and consultancies for the job well done. I've had a chance to visit the project and I saw it. It is really well done. Congratulations and thank you. This project, I'm always happy to note that our historic and fraternal relation continue to improve day by day. And of course, there is a wider room to further make the improvement of our relationship and cooperation, particularly in areas of trade and investment, as well as cultural and social engagement. And so this project is going to immensely contribute to that effect. While our countries continue to record an impressive economic growth, our responsibility of heads of states and government is to direct the investment to such these areas like here where we are, whereby the investment shall catalyze the macroeconomic development of the area, of which are going to foster macroeconomic outcomes. We have to develop these areas and build the microeconomic development, or the base of microeconomic development, in such a way that it's going to foster macroeconomic outcomes. So this is exactly what we are doing. And I must say that the power generated here shall improve a lot of things. One, it's going to improve trading and investment in this region. It's going to improve the transport and transportation of people and goods, and so trade activities. It's going to improve social services, clean and safe water, sound health services, better schooling, contemporary teaching modalities are going to be done here because power is here. This power is going to bridge the communication gaps, as has been just said by the minister, that there are going to be connections, and so communication gaps are going to be bridged between the urban and the rural settings. But the power is going to improve social engagement, because people are going to engage now and then, and they have the ability and capability to do so. But the power is going to improve security in our areas. In general, power is power. That's why it's called power, because it's going to reduce the inequality gap between the urban and rural settings. All of them are going to enjoy the same benefits. Your Excellency, I've heard of the challenging issues mentioned here by the developers, and thanks to my minister, have touched on them. But I must add my word of promise that the government, my government, is going to give a due priority on these issues. We are going to work and resolve on them and make our project going smoothly. They have the multi-sectoral concern, and that's why I said my government is going to work on them. Your Excellency, it is now my assurance that the government of the Republic of Tanzania remains committed to strengthening and deepening our brotherly friendship and cooperation. I've heard of the Musongozi Power Project, and I would just want to request you to allow the technical teams from both parties to discuss on the project and come up with a modality of implementing the project. My government is ready for the project because we are now engaging heavily on the power distribution in rural settings, and so sources of power like this are going to be very helpful to our mission. So Tanzania is ready, and I think Uganda is ready too. Finally, Your Excellency, I must once again thank you for this invitation and congratulate you for this accomplishment. And of course, with our responsibilities ahead, I wish you, Your Excellency, and my dear brother, personal good health and prosperity for the people of Uganda. Asante sana. Thank you for listening.
Your Excellency, I want to really welcome you here in this part of the world. You have been to other parts of Uganda, but you had not come here. And no other Tanzanian president had come here, this side. President Mkapa was on the other side alone. He didn't tell me, but he didn't come this side. So you are the first president of Tanzania to come this side. This part of Uganda and Tanzania is where I am born. I was actually born at a place which is less than 40 miles from here, if you follow the road. But if you go direct, it may be about 20 miles. So I have grown up here. I have grazed cows, both in Uganda and in Tanzania. And I have fought at least 3 wars here in this part of Africa. In fact, it is because we did not coordinate, but just behind that hill, that's where, on the Tanzanian side, that's where I had my base when we were fighting Idi Amin. And there is a school there, there's a school there called Nyamiyaga, where I was camped during I arrived there on the 23rd of December, 1978, and I crossed here at this bridge on the 11th of February, 1979, with Colonel Casey of the Army, with our battalion, which we were working with, was called Task Force Battalion of 206 Brigade of the Tanzanian Army, under Brigadier Mayunga. Therefore, I'm very happy to receive you here, because this is a part of the world I know very well. So it's now good that we are beginning to utilize the potential of the Kagera River. For us, we call it Kagera, we put a Y, but the Bahaya are louder, they call it Kagera, so we take the Bahaya version. Kagera, Okujera. Okujera means to melt, when something is melting. Sijui wanahitaji kwa Kiswahili, when something is melting. Kuyayuka. Oh, so Kagera means the dissolving into water. So this Chikagate Mrongo, and the name is Chikagate, not Chikagati. Please change that. Because Chikagate refers to some small plants known as Okagate, which were very common here. Murongo, I don't know how the Banyoro, they were, our people of Karagwe, they were, our Karagwe Navachi, Abanyambo, the Banyambo. How the Banyambo called it Murongo, because I'll do some research, because Omurongo is is pronounced slightly differently. Omurongo means a platform, like this one is Omurongo. This platform where we walked. So I don't know whether they meant that. I have never done research. So it's good that we are beginning to utilize this potential here. As you hear here, we have got 16 megawatts here, but 11 miles from here, downstream, we have Nshungezi, where we have got another 38 megawatts. So I am glad Her Excellency, you had her promising you that she's going to instruct her people to work with you on Nshungezi also. And also the government of Rwanda, I think, expressed interest. It could be that many of the Banyarwanda refugees who are in Uganda, many of them stayed near there, near that place. So they have some attachment to that site. So I want to thank in front of you the late His Excellency Magufuli and Her Excellency Samia when they came. Because as you hear, those white people were patient with us. They don't say so, they are polite. But they started making the proposal in 2005, you say? Yes, 2005. Mtu anakuja, anakuambia kwamba nataka kujengea bwawa la umeme hapa kwa gharama yangu. Unamzungusha. It's really amazing. Jambo la ajabu. Mtu ataka kujenga bwawa kwa Ulaya, anataka kujenga hapa kwako. Anakuwa kama na kuomba. Badala ya kumshukuru na kumpokea, kumzungusha. Ndio mnaona matatizo ambayo yuko kwenye nchi za Afrika. Unasikia vita huko. Hii yote inatokana na makosa kama haya. Kwa sababu wanapoteza muda wa maendeleo, population inaongezeka, vijana wanataka kazi haipatikani, na tokeo ni vurugu kama unavyosikia huko kote. Mali wapi. Kwa hiyo hao watawala msonge kukaa hapo wanakuomba, unazunguka kwenye kiti namna hii. Hii ni hatari kwa sababu mambo ya hapa umeme utatumiwa na nani? Kama Watanzania wanataka kutumia umeme wote watumie. Let them take all of it. What are you worrying about? They will pay for it. What are you worried about? That there is argument about sharing your power. What are you arguing about? If the Tanzanians want to take all the 16 megawatts, let them take it. And they pay for it. What is the problem exactly? Kwa hiyo kusema mahitaji ya Tanzania yameongezeka sasa. I'm speaking in Swahili. I'm telling them, my friends, the whites, that this argument about who takes more power, I am not part of that argument. If Tanzania needs the power more, they take it. They pay for it. They will not take it free. What's the problem? So, if they wanted 2 megawatts originally, now they want 4, they should get the 4. I authorize it now, here, now. If they want 6, take. If they want all 16, take, but they pay. What is the problem? Mnakuwa hupo kama watoto wadogo. Mnabishana kwenye mambo ambayo haina maana. We are already exporting power from Masaka to Bukoba. Tulianza mradi huo wa kuuza umeme Tanzania wakati wa mzee Hassan Mwinyi na wakati Rais Mkapa alikuja tuliongezea kuuza. Sasa kama tunauza umeme kule, kuna tofauti gani na hapa? What are you quarreling about? Now, these other issues of moving from 14 to 16, I would really know what is the problem. Because the developers want to move to 16 from 14. Hii nayo inakuwa shida, inakuwa hapo. So I think really you should do the political and the bureaucratic classes in Africa must wake up. Otherwise, they will be overtaken by the demands of the people, because the people want development, want transformation. The potential is there, but the ones in charge are not seeing it. So I want to thank His Excellency Magufuli, because you hear we started on this in 2005, nothing could move. Until you are saying 2018? That's when President Magufuli came, and I told him, I said, oh, you know, Magufuli will waste no time. He authorized it. And when Samia came, we went ahead. So, nawashukuru sana. Sasa, Mheshimiwa Rais, hawa watu walituambia pale chini, maybe I say this in English. These people told us that the flow of the water here is 384 cubic meters per second. Is it 384? 3 what?
384 per second.
Yes. Yeah. It is 384 cubic meters of water per second. If you compare with the Jinja, where the Nile comes out of the lake, it is normal about, even sometimes it goes up to 1,000 cubic meters per second. But this one is good enough, because this is just a branch of the Nile. Now they are saying they are using only 110. Is that so? They are using 110 of the 384 cubic meters per second to generate this electricity. My question is, why can't you do more? What is the problem? Can you tell me that? Come. Soko, maybe.
Thank you for the opportunity to respond, Your Excellency. So, right now, indeed, the plant is using around 110 cubic meters per second. The design flow of the plant, so what the plant can consume at 16 megawatts, I believe, is at around 240 cubic meters per second. So there's always a bit of a margin that one leaves.
Oh, it can go to 240.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what we are doing now is we are not generating at full capacity, because some units were taken off. We were in the middle of an outage, and then we were preparing for this inauguration. So some of the units are not operational. And anyway, we will be using all of the water in the design flow as the demand picks up to 16 megawatts. We're taking good care of your resource here.
Thank you. Now,
thank you very much.
When because as I've told you, I grew up here, and I've been operating here for a long time. Those hills of Tanzania, of Karagwe, and these ones here, at Shungezi, which they are talking about, they leave a small gap like this. So at one time, I had a bad plan in my head of building a dam across those hills, which would submerge all these people in the water, this area here, turn it into a dam. Do you think that is a possible idea or what? Huh? Mutaram expert.
What we prefer to do is find an optimal solution between environmental and social concerns as well as...
But is it possible to do that before you come for the environment or what? If we did that, what would be the yield? If we block, because these hills you can block them like this.
The Nsongezi project, as it has been contemplated, effectively creates a bit of a dam there. If you were to raise the dam very high, you would flood a very large area, so that would not be feasible in my opinion.
But how much would we generate?
I don't want to be throwing out figures, but you've got a very mighty river here. So if one created a very large dam, you could get a lot of megawatts out of it.
Yes, because you see, I went to Ghana. There is a river there called the Volta River. That Volta River is not as strong as the Kagera. Yeah. But the famous dam, which was built by Nkrumah, which saved Ghana, the Akosombo Dam, you can go and check on the internet. It generates 1,300 megawatts from a very small river, not like this one here, which is so powerful. So I was always having this bad plan in my head. I didn't tell anybody, it's only now that I mention it. Because now what they are doing, they have not built a big dam. But when I was always passing there, where the hills of Karagwe almost meet the ones of Uganda, I had that idea in my head. But anyway, by having a minimum blockage, we can get 16 megawatts from here, get 38 from there. Let's start with that one. But furthermore, Your Excellency, as you are coming, this land is special, this area. As you hear, it is called Isingiro. There is also Isingiro on the Tanzanian side, 18 miles from the river here. Inside there is part of Tanzania called Isingiro. What Isingiro means is that during the tribal wars, when these chiefs of ours were fighting among themselves, the one who doesn't want to fight would withdraw to the hill area, which was easier to defend. Isingiro, Okusingwa, to where you withdraw to. That's why they call it Isingiro here. They call it Isingiro even on the Tanzanian side. Now, this is because of the hills. Now, as you saw when you were coming, there's a lot of cultivation of bananas on top of the hills. But if we were to irrigate, we have done some experiments somewhere, when without irrigation, you produce 5.3 tons per hectare of bananas. But when you irrigate, you go up to 53 tons per hectare. So on the Uganda side, we are trying to see how we can get this Kagera water pumped up to a high ground, and then we use it for irrigation on those banana plantations you saw. So if we can do it also on the Tanzanian side, the Banyambo people, I think it would be a very good idea. We could, on our side, we are trying to work on it, but I think we could share that idea. But secondly, or furthermore, this area, in the geological terms, is called the Ankole-Karagwe geological system. It is unique. The geologists will tell you if you call them. It is similar to the Katanga geological system in Congo, where there are a lot of minerals in Katanga, copper, what. So those people like Kawagambe there would tell you that most of the minerals which are found in Congo can be found here because of the same structure of the geology. And indeed, there are a lot of minerals. In Cherwa there, they are always mining tins here, tin, and so on. A lot of minerals in the ground. But that one now creates a problem for the people to some extent. If you try to make boreholes of water in the ground, the water will be salty. So that's why we need to take water from the surface to those people instead of boreholes, because the underground water may not be suitable because of the minerals. So there's also that side of how we can see how we can work in this area. So therefore, I want really to congratulate Her Excellency, but starting with His Excellency Magufuli, because that's when we started moving. That's when the government of Tanzania allowed us, because this is a shared river. The boundary is in the middle of the river. So you could not do a project on the river without the permission of the other brother. So the Tanzanian government could not allow these people to move. We had to wait for all those years. But when His Excellency Magufuli came, he allowed us, and then Her Excellency Samia has concluded it, as you can see. So I want to thank them so much, because we are finally beginning to use this river the way it should be used. Now, on the side of the companies, this price of 8.5 cents per unit is not a Christian idea. What can we do about this eventually? How can we bring it down? Because we are insisting that power, especially for manufacturing, should be about 5 cents. For nightclubs, I don't mind. It can go to 8 cents and so on. But so what do you say about the cost? Because when we build dams with the Chinese, like the Karuma you are hearing about, the production cost is 4.8 cents. Karuma, the one the minister was talking about, 4.8 cents. Isimba, 4.8 cents. Now, our partners, the Germans and our other friends, how can we make this electricity cheaper? What witchcraft can we use? Huh? Berkeley, what do you say? Where's Berkeley?
Right here. I think it's a complex question, but it's an important target that you said. So
because you remember, your Bujagari was definitely un-Christian, because it started with 13 cents. It has now come to, I hear, 8 cents or what? Where is it now, Minister? Huh? 8 point? Okay. So this one is, because we need cheap electricity, especially for manufacturing. There's no way we can have expensive electricity and then you want us to get out of poverty. No. So you study this, see how we can, because with the Chinese loans which we use, we are able to produce power at 4.8, 4.7. Now our old dams, where we have already paid the debts, we are able to have power at 1.2 cents. So this is really the only issue I want to advise the developers about, and their financiers like the European Union groups, because the water is here, so now the only expensive part is the cost of money. If the cost of money is expensive, that's how you can get this expensive power. Now finally, tunangojea ndugu zetu wa Tanzania kutukomboa kutoka kwenye ukosefu wa gasi. Sisi huko Uganda tuko na kila kitu. There is nothing under heaven which we don't have. Hao Waganda ni watajiri sana, wako na kila kitu. Ndio na wakota mwingine wanakuwa kwenye night club wanaburudika, they have very easy life. Chakula nini wako lakini gas yetu haitoshi. Tuko na gas where there is petroleum, lakini haitoshi. Tena tunataka gas ya chuma cha pua. Chuma cha pua, waliniambia kwamba kwa Swahili hawana neno la obutari. Obutari is iron ore. Wanajiita chuma cha pua. Tunataka gas kutengeneza chuma, steel. Tunataka gas kwa mbolea. Tunataka gas kwa cooking and all that. So tunangojea kununuliwa kutoka ndugu zetu wa Tanzania. Huko tumewapelekea mafuta na nyinyi mtupelekee gas. Huyu ndio undugu wa daima. Asante sana, asante kuja, asante Mheshimiwa Rais kuja kututembelea. Congratulations. Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. Your Excellencies, it would be our great honor if you could just kindly step forward, and we also ask the Ministers of Energy from Tanzania and Uganda to join their Excellencies for a photo opportunity. We'd also like to ask Ms. Iris Nabe, together with Cornelia Penzel, Country Director of KfW, Mr. Giulio Parolini, with Mr. Luca Baglion. Could you kindly also just prepare? We'd like to kindly take these pictures before we have our national anthems, and then we invite you all for lunch. So could we kindly commence with the Ministers of Energy? Ministers of Energy, please. So we'll start with the Ministers of Energy. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first picture will be the Ministers of Energy together with their Excellencies. Thank you. Could we have Miss Iris Naber together with Cornelia Penzel, together with I can see everybody's in the picture now. I think this is one big happy family. Leadership of Isinjiro, could you kindly also... Yes, the Cherwa family, please. The team from Cherwa, please. Could we have the team, the ICT team, the team from NITA also, kindly be on standby? The Permanent Secretary of Energy also, Ms. Batebe, kindly also make your way, because that will be a very powerful picture you'd kindly not want to miss out. Thank you very much to the team from Isinjiro. Kindly take your seats. Thank you very much, the team from Isinjiro. Thank you very much, the team from Isinjiro. Could we have the ICT team? Thank you very much, ICT team. The Ministry of ICT together with the team from NITA. Oh yes, and it would be very criminal if the team from Buckley Energy did not make their way. So kindly, quickly make your way. That will be the last picture. That's the last, yes, the last picture. Engineers from Buckley Energy, please make your way. That's the last picture. Then we will sing on. Team from ICT, please stand for your picture quickly. Honorable Chris, could you kindly guide your team? Thank you very much. Could we quickly have Honorable Chris and the team from ICT and the final picture with the team from Buckley Energy? We thank you so much. And then we will sing the national anthems. And we will invite everybody for lunch. Kindly do not leave. We'd like to ask you all to stay seated, because we will have ushers coming to your different tables to take you to the different service points. We'd like to thank you all for your patience. We'd like to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Her Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, all of our distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, for making time. We'd like to thank all of our district leadership. We'd like to thank all of our partners. We'd like to thank all of our stakeholders for making this particular project a success. And we're looking forward to very many more years of successes. Ladies and gentlemen, our final picture with the team from Berkeley Energy. Thank you very much, our team from Berkeley Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, can we kindly assume the positions for our national anthems? Ladies and gentlemen, can we kindly be upstanding for the national anthems? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to kindly take your seats. We will have ushers come and collect you table by table and invite you to lunch. We'd like to do a special thank you to the entire team from this State House crew for putting together this entire massive engagement. I'd like to thank the team from Photogenics for a great job done. We'd like to thank the entire team from Eclipse Marketing. And we'd like to thank the entire team from Berkeley Energy, from the plant and from the head office, from putting together a massive engagement. Thank you very much, and bon appetit to everybody. The bishop, I think, prayed for the food. Unless you